Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. We start with breaking news tonight. There is a large gas leak in North Spokane. Homes are being evacuated and there is a shelter-in-place order for Woodridge Elementary School.
Our Kyle Simchuk is live at the scene tonight. He is near North Woodridge and West Shawnee now with the very latest. Kyle?
When we just heard from the fire department that students are being released from Woodridge Elementary, but there's still about 8 homes in the area that have been evacuated, and it could be a few more hours until those people are allowed to return home. We're told that there were utility crews in the area doing some work on some fiber optic lines when they struck a 4-inch gas line in the street here. So right now Avista is working to put clamps on that line so that it can be repaired. The fire department tells us that since natural gas is lighter than air, it's just going straight up into the atmosphere, but it's the odor that they add to that natural gas that's actually heavier than air, and so it can start to settle around the area. We were actually about a half a mile away and could really smell that odor that they add to this natural gas. But it could be a few more hours again until these people can return home. I talked to one person who said that the fire department knocked on the door around 3:10, told them to evacuate, and they're just kind of waiting to learn when they can go back inside. Reporting live in North Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Thank you very much. Some more breaking news to tell you about tonight. We have just learned the identities of the 2 people shot to death Friday night in North Spokane. The man and woman killed have been identified as 37-year-old Colton Russell and 23-year-old Kiara Morgan Whelan.
So police have not yet released very much information, but they say the shooting happened near Cleveland and Cuba. The victims were found on Friday night just after 11 o'clock. No word on any suspects. The Major Crimes Unit, though, is investigating.
Tonight is the final city council meeting for the Pullman mayor, Glenn Johnson, also known as the voice of the Cougs. He is retiring after 20 years serving as Pullman's mayor.
Chief journalist Amanda Rowley met with him today to look back at his time as Pullman's longest serving mayor.
Well, Mayor Glenn Johnson, you are going to be wrapping up here a long stretch as Pullman's mayor. Has it flown by? I mean,
there are some days that haven't, but overall, yes, it has gone by quickly. As soon as I became the third time, when I ran for the third time, I was the oldest in terms of serving for this community.
Yeah, you're the longest serving mayor now. Why be Pullman's mayor for 20 years?
It was a good gig.
So then what prompted the decision to retire?
I've done it enough. I mean, you look at a lot of communities and 1 term and you're out, or 2 terms mainly. This one here, we had a project to get done, the airport. We had a lot of things that were on the plate, and I knew that I needed the extra 4 years. So I needed that 5th term, and I did it.
You wanted to see it through.
I wanted to see it all the way through.
Now, would you say the airport, the Pullman-Moscow airport, is one of your biggest achievements?
I do say that.
I understand you were a major advocate for Pullman's new City Hall.
This has been a fantastic addition.
Why was it important to move out of the old City Hall into this one? I mean,
we were just cramped for space. We just didn't have any space over there.
What are the plans for your next chapter?
Still a trustee of the Community College of Spokane until 27. The governor reappointed me to that. So that's going to keep me busy, and I'm working with ACT, which is their Association of College Trustees over in Seattle. I was already given an opportunity to go over to Olympia to lobby on behalf of community colleges in January. We'll see how that goes.
So very civically involved still.
Yeah, I'll keep busy.
What will it be like? I mean, how do you envision spending your Tuesday night without a council meeting?
I told my wife we are going out to dinner on the first council meeting that's scheduled.
Yeah.
We're going to have a nice dinner out. Maybe some wine will be used.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will celebrate.
Well, congratulations to him and thanks for everything he has done for the city. All right, let's switch gears now and take a first look at the forecast. We've got Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo.
Jeremy, it feels like we're just stuck in this same weather pattern. Like, are we ever going to get out of this?
Nope.
Oh, perfect.
It's here forever, and that's just the way it is now, I guess.
Great.
All right.
Let's do this.
Talk to you at 10.
Yeah, all right. At 10, I might change my mind like I did last night, so tune in. Things can change. 36 degrees right now. Dew points slowly dropping 32, and it's going to keep falling into the 20s, and our temperature is going to chase it, and then we get fog. Right now, visibility looks pretty good across the region, but it's likely going to reduce, and by tomorrow morning, we wake up to patchy, dense fog. But with being above freezing and then having temperatures drop below freezing, what is likely with this type of situation is that we have an abundance of moisture in the atmosphere, and we might precipitate some of that out as a freezing drizzle. Freezing drizzle is not freezing rain and doesn't typically have huge impacts, but it's kind of a festering amount of stickiness on your windshield, or maybe a slick spot on the road or sidewalk that you're going to notice. Temperatures fall down into the 20s tonight, and over the course of the next few days, they're above freezing in the afternoon, below freezing in the morning, and by Friday, we might just see a little bit of sunshine.
Jeremy, thank you very much. The House of Representatives Rules Committee met today to determine whether there are sufficient grounds to impeach President Biden.
The committee is reviewing documents. During the meeting, House Republicans argued that President Biden's administration is stonewalling its inquiry. Democrats on the committee say the president has provided thousands of pages of documents. So far, Republicans have not presented any evidence of wrongdoing.
The impeachment inquiry is necessary now, as Whip Emmer just explained, because we've come to this impasse where following the facts where they lead is hitting a stone wall, because the White House is impeding that investigation now. They're not allowing witnesses to come forward and thousands of pages of documents. So we have no choice. To fulfill our constitutional responsibility, we have to take the next step. We're not making a political decision. It's not. It's a legal decision.
Republicans are looking at a vote tomorrow to formalize the impeachment inquiry.
The White House says that if Congress does not act soon, then America will no longer be able to provide support for Ukraine in its fight against Russia.
The aid is set to dry up by the end of this month, which helps explain why Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is in Washington, D.C. today. In his third trip to Washington since Russia invaded Ukraine, Ukrainian President Zelensky arrived on Capitol Hill, meeting all of the U.S. senators. He is making a case before lawmakers to send more aid to his country.